like to call to order the Guthrie Edmond Regional Airport Advisory Board. For the folks that weren't here last time, I kind of was joking, but it's kind of a true story. It's a true story, kind of like during a jury trial, I went to the bathroom and came back and got elected foreman. So here I am. But I appreciate everybody being here tonight. And like I said, we'll call to order. First action item on the agenda tonight is approval of the minutes from the Guthrie Edmond Regional Airport Board meeting on January 12th, 2016 at 6 p.m. And I entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion, we accept them as written.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Moving on to our discussion items tonight. Number 3 is discussion of the airport manager's report and monthly financials. I'll turn everything over to Sean this time.
Okay, and again, I've got a squeaky voice, so bear with me. It is short. The start of it is the Hangar Development update. Hangar Development update, letter A. Hangar 6A, the dirt work's completed. Within the next couple of weeks, the tenant plans to prepare for the concrete slab to be poured. That's from the ramp, from the taxiway to the hangar, the ramp area. Item B of Hangar Development, Hangar 20B, Ron Jules hangar, all the siding and door frames up. It has been too windy to put the roof up. They've got one strip up, but again, too windy to continue on with that. But they're moving along quite nicely, making a lot of progress. And Hangar 20C, the concrete slab's been poured and most of the framework has been erected. But again, the wind and rain has slowed it down just a little bit. But they are moving right along. He's already got flyers out of how much he's renting them for and been advertising. Item 2, airport buildings, grounds, and equipment. Hangar 12, you guys had previously agreed to do the dirt work around that and redirect the flow of the water away from the building, and that has been completed. And the cost of the airport again was $200. Very good deal. Item B would be HVAC duct removal above the airport manager's office is completed. And basically what that was it was overlooked in the pilot's lounge part of it. There's several little items that have been coming up, which is all good. But what we needed to do was use the existing vents, or they put in 2 new vents, 2 grids, and I already had 2. So what they did is they took out the old ones, capped off that portion of it, and then I only have 2. So in other words, I was having heat and air come in from the terminal building, and then when the pilot's lounge is working, I'll have heat and air coming in from there. There was really no sense in having both of them, but that was kind of overlooked. It's been resolved, and that was one of the contractors that was here that I had worked with for many years. Did that at a cost to the airport of $300. So we really did a good deal out of that, because I did check others. But being that it was part of the pilot's lounge, we went ahead and took care of that. Then item C, the main gate next to the terminal building needs new wheels. And the cost of repair of that was $47.44. One tire was worn out, it looked like it was slit, it was so bad, and then the other one, the bearings were bad, and you couldn't just buy the bearings for it. So that was pretty cheap. I drove out to Granger's in Oklahoma City to exchange, because they shipped the wrong one to start with. So we took care of that, they took care of course, there's no shipping for us.
Sounds like an FAA part.
It worked out well. Long drive, but it was good. And then last on the airport buildings, grounds and equipment, runway lights were out of service for a week. We did a NOTAM. This was probably a couple weeks ago. I didn't have costing at the time. But as you see, the cost of repair was $1,740. So we are, again, just to remind you, we have our project this year. We're doing a project design only for rehabilitating the runway lights. So that's going to cut down the cost. This just shows you what just a small fix took them hours to locate. Once we have the can lighting and conduit, then it's gonna make life a lot easier and not as costly. Moving on to the airport services, item 3, letter A, the pilot's lounge, again, that's moved along great, mechanical and electrical finals conducted. The shower insert, insulation, sheetrock, tape, and texture completed. Cabinets, doors, countertop, and kitchen sink installed. The drop ceiling lights and fans were also completed. We still have a few tiles of ceiling, the drop ceiling to put in. Paint looks great. You guys will have to walk back there and look if you haven't already. The vinyl flooring is scheduled for tomorrow. And then the carpet should be for Friday. The Guthrie Edmond Aviation Association has picked out a refrigerator and bought it. We've also went down last Friday and got 2 Lazy Boys made in the USA, and those have been bought, and they'll be delivered once we get the Violet Lounge completed. And that should be completed March 28th. The Violet Lounge, that is the deadline for the contract.
Do we need to take action on a party?
Yes, we're gonna have to yes, we will. We'll talk about that later. But actually, I would say a little open house would be nice.
Yeah, good idea.
Yes. And I'm gonna skip the camera edition since it is an action item. Moving on to number 4, wildlife management. We did have 5 finally, not finally, I don't like that word, but we did, I did hear from someone, they did report to me 5 deer reported on the airfield crossing from the east to west, and there was 2 adults and 3 fawns. Other news, Senator Inhofe flew into the airport this month, doing business in Bricktown. In fact, there's been quite a few jets this last week that have flown in. The airport will be advertising, item B, the airport will be advertising for part-time position and thinking about a seasonal position to start around April, May growing season. This position will be for 6 months or less. We will also be interviewing for an aviation management intern this summer. I've already sent out that information to college students, that criteria is that they are in school and they are aviation management student. And right now as it stands, I'm just thinking about the months of June and July. Depending on where I am, if I have help or what's going on, then I might keep them as long as I can during that, just call them seasonal. That's all been accounted for previous to me coming here and in the budget. Item C, the airport manager, Guthrie and Edmond city managers will start meeting quarterly to discuss the direction and the future of the airport. So in combination, we will also have the future airport development committee that we formed a couple of months ago. We'll have them interacting with those quarterly meetings. No sense in having 2 separate meetings. Also during those meetings, I'll be sure to bring back to the airport advisory board things that have transpired. Item 6, just a little bit of the airport manager activities. Continue to do chamber coffee networking, weekly attendance. I attended the Aviation Day at the Capitol, and if I could, just so you guys have a brief explanation of what that is, if you wouldn't mind just reading that little paragraph for me, that'll cut down on me having to speak.
Okay.
Just real quick, what the Aviation Day at the Capitol is about.
Okay, well, this is that the purpose of the Aviation Aerospace Day was to recognize Oklahoma aviation and aerospace industry as a vital economic engine for the state. It is a unique opportunity for industry officials to come together, one unified voice, and meet state legislators and other elected officials to thank them for their support of the state's aviation and aerospace industry, and to remind them of Oklahoma's strong aviation heritage and how the industry continues to solidify our state as a worldwide leader in aviation and aerospace. Nearly 30 exhibitors all lined the 4th floor rotunda as a form of solidarity and to showcase their organizations. It was a unique way to promote their organizations and to show what impact they and the rest of the state's aerospace industry have on the Oklahoma economy.
And I just wrote that up because I thought it would be easier, and then it wasn't planned on reading it for me, but basically,
Nick, that was a
it was,
very good
it was a neat opportunity for me. I took advantage of this time. Oklahoma Airport Operators Association, we had over 17 airports represented there, so it was really neat. And each one of us went to our legislators and spoke with them and introduced ourselves. So I had the opportunity to introduce myself to Representative Jason Murphy and Senator A.J. Griffin. So that was really cool. I had met Senator Griffin previous, and excuse me, kind of talked a little bit to her and Jason and asked him to come out for a tour of the airport. So that was pretty neat. And then again, I continue to be involved with the CERT team, which is the Community Emergency Response Team meeting. You read it. I apologize.
Squeaky.
And one last item on here, the annual Guthrie Chamber banquet I attended. It was had a great time. A lot of people. I think it was the most they had in attendance there. That's it for now.
Thank you.
I hate to ask a question. A
That's okay.
yes or no would be just where do we stand on the yodels like that?
Put that on because the agenda was already in there.
Oh,
But
okay.
it is a question that's been asked, and it is airport buildings, grounds, and equipment. The yodels will be lit up tonight. They will be flight checked tomorrow.
Okay.
So I'm going out there after this meeting, and I hope it's dark enough to see if I can get a videotape. It wouldn't videotape earlier because of the lights and sequence. I don't even know if the iPhone will do that. So if anybody can get me a videotape before the next meeting, I'll have a projector next month. Sitting right here, I already keyed it all up tonight, but because I couldn't speak, then I could talk about all the pictures. Okay,
Thank you.
over top.
That's just fine. Over here.
All right, well, moving on, we'll, item 4, Representative Harms reporting on the most recent UAS UAV update from James Brimsley, presentation at the Oklahoma Airport Operator Association quarterly meeting.
I have some handouts here, my outline. I already took some notes in the margin for you. This is a quarterly meeting of the Oklahoma Airport Operators Association. So my notes here, both written and speaking, will be basically an outline of James Grimsley's report. This was January 2nd. His email address is there if you want to follow up there, and if you want more detailed information, it's at faa.gov/UAS/ and then you can go into other categories that are related. Currently, be thinking of under 55 pounds, under 500 feet AGL, and less than 100 miles an hour. And don't talk about drones, talk about UAVs, unmanned aerial vehicles. That's the FAA terminology. Running an airport,